France's Macron leads delegation to Algeria in effort to mend ties. French President Emmanuel Macron arrives in Algeria moment for a three-day visit aimed at resolving pressures that led Algeria to recall its minister to France last time. At the time, Macron indicted the former French colony of rewriting history, to promote abomination of France. Macron will travel with 6 ministers and over 80 other people, including business leaders and an expert on North African history. Perfecting ties could yield tips for Macron among the large French-Algerian community and ameliorate France's capability to conduct military operations in Africa. Algeria's oil, painting and gas inventories have attracted European countries seeking to reduce energy dependence on Russia since its eruption of Ukraine. No major energy deals are anticipated to be blazoned during Macron's visit, in part because Italy moved first to secure gas deals with Algeria at the launch of the Ukraine war. Analysis. In recent years, Macron has made unprecedented steps to acknowledge torture and killings by French troops during Algeria's 1954-62 War of Independence, in a bid to appease the two countries' still rancorous relations. Yet the series of symbolic gestures has fallen short of an apology from France for its actions during the war, a long-standing demand from Algeria, the Associated Press's Sylvie Corbett writes. You don't come with such a large delegation, including the foreign, defense, economy and interior ministers, and stay for 2 days, if all you are going to discuss is the past. Hosni Abidi of the Research Center for the Arab World and the Mediterranean tells the BBC. Pacific Rim Taiwan proposes record hike to military budget. The proposed defense budget would amount to around 2.7% of the islet's gross domestic product if passed. Taiwan's Statistics Department minister said the new spending would substantially go toward the functional costs of responding to pitfalls from landmass China. On the President's Inbox podcast, CFR's David Sachs discusses Taiwan's China challenge. China. To address China's property request retardation, Beijing blazoned around $146 billion, Bloomberg, in new encouragement backing, largely directed at structure. South and Central Asia. Former Pakistani premier granted pre-arrest bail. Former Prime Minister Imran Khan was granted bail by an Islamabad court after authorities charged him under an anti-terrorism law for commentary he made at a recent rally and for violating a ban on large, public gatherings. Myanmar authorities arrested BBC, the former British minister to Myanmar, Vicky Bowman, and her hubby, a former Myanmar political internee. Bowman was charged with violating visa rules. Middle East and North Africa. Washington responds to EU plan to regain nuclear deal. The U.S. State Department said it completed a review of the textbook proposed by the European Union, which bear the U.S. response, CNN, to Iran. The State Department didn't advertise the details of the response. Sub-Saharan Africa. Angola's ruling party leads in primary vote count with 86% of ballots counted. The country's electoral authority said the ruling People's Movement for the Emancipation of Angola leads with 52% of votes. Reuters. An opposition party disputed an earlier advertisement of primary results. Ethiopia, Sudan. Ethiopia's service said it shot down a Sudanese airplane that was carrying arms to revolutionists in the Tigray region. Sub-Saharan Africa. Angola's ruling party leads in primary vote count with 86% of ballots counted. The country's electoral authority said the ruling People's Movement for the Emancipation of Angola leads with 52% of votes. Reuters. An opposition party disputed an earlier advertisement of primary results. Ethiopia, Sudan. Ethiopia's service said it shot down a Sudanese airplane that was carrying arms to revolutionists in the Tigray region. Americas. Canada on track to exceed 2022 immigration target. With 275,000 new endless residers as of July, Canada is set to surpass its thing, Reuters, of granting endless occupancy to 431,000 people this time, the country's immigration minister said. Authorities will hire up to 1,250 workers to speed operation processing. This backgrounder unpacks Canada's immigration policy. Mexico. A judge ruled that the Attorney General who oversaw the original disquisition into the 2014 exposure of 43 scholars will face trial for forced exposure, failure to report torture, and misconduct. United States. Biden announces plan to cancel billions of bones in student debt. President Joe Biden blazoned the erasure of $10,000 in federal student loan debt for Americans earning under $125,000 per year, and a fresh $10,000 canceled for Pell Grant donors. Biden campaigned on the pledge, which is anticipated to reduce debt for further than 40 million people. This backgrounder discusses whether rising student debt is harming the U.S. frugality.